What is going on, Zinger Nation? Welcome back to a brand new episode / show of the After Hours Show. I'm your host, Ryan Rozbiani, here on Zinger Nation on the Benzinga Network. Welcome to everyone who's here. I got a weird error message. What's going on, Fred? What's going on, everyone? Today, we've got a lot to talk about. If you know me, you know that for the whole duration of this show, from the beginning of when this show started, was around the time the first AMC GME pop happened. And we've been following every single pop on this show, bringing you what's the word? I'm blanking on the word. Oh, it's not important. Bring you the truth as best as we can through the charts. Unbiased opinions. That was the word I was looking for. Was unbiased opinions on AMC, GME, all of the momentum stocks. We don't call them meme stocks here. We call them momentum stocks. Paulina, spot on, unbiased. That's the word I was blanking on. What's going on, Paulina? What's going on, Quentin? What's going on, buddy? I see Fred's also here. What's going on, guys? We're going to be talking about a lot of these. These guys woke up from a deep slumber today, and it's going to be a lot of fun talking about them because we've been talking about them for a while, and now it looks like it's time to bring them to the front one more time. On this show, we usually open up by talking about SPY, QQQ, Bitcoin, IWM, but today I don't think we have the time to do that. We have to jump in and talk about these momentum stocks. I see producer AB might be jumping in, so I'm going to put my headphone in. I see everyone's here. What's going on? Christopher, I see you, man. Christopher, I think Christopher has a show right on after us. So make sure to definitely stick around and watch his show. Fantastic show. I was able to watch it last week, I believe it was. The 10-Minute Stock Trader. Fantastic show. Please support all the shows on this network by subscribing and hitting the like button. So without further ado, we're going to skip the SPY situation today and all that stuff. We're going to talk about AMC, GME. And in order to do that, we start with the daily chart first, and then we're going to dive deep into some of the other things that are in there, into closer time intervals, and then we'll go to GameStop, and then we're going to do a bunch of other things as we go on. So as we can see here today, the levels that we've been watching on AMCs, we saw the massive first kind of short squeeze pop that happened at least during the summertime area, around the summertime area, was to $72-73. Big pop. This popped out a lot of short positions. We saw like a lot of articles coming out. So-and-so lost $1 billion. So-and-so lost $1 million. Big drops happened. Drop-offs happened on short sellers, and we had a big pop. Then AMC began to consolidate between $50 and $63 for a bit. The volume began to go down. Kind of the momentum was being lost for a bit and kind of went into kind of a decline and came down to a low of $28.91. So the stock came down to this low and kind of lulled. And then it kind of began to kind of start churning a little bit here. You got a little bit of pops here. You got more red. You got pops. And then these past 4 days here, if we go in deep, the past 4 days right here, it began to just go pop, 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 and then just went up out of nowhere. But it hit resistance here at the $39.23 point based off of our Fibonacci levels. Hit this point, rejected it a bit, consolidated downward, and then pop. Yesterday it had a good day. No one was really talking about yesterday. Yesterday had about a 7.68% day, so about a 7% day. And then today, 20% day and still rocking and rolling in the after hours. Let's take a look at it on a smaller time interval, on a 15-minute time interval, to kind of figure out what was going on. In order to do this, I'm going to have to remove the Bollinger Band so we can see everything going on. I'm going to remove VWAP a little bit as well. I'm going to put this on auto so we can kind of see the candles fully. That stuff's important, but right now we're just kind of look at candles. I want to see what caused the initial pop, where things started moving, what happened. So I didn't see any news stories. I didn't see anything going on. I didn't see like a trigger or a catalyst for any of this. In the morning, we saw a nice little pop-up. We had two nice little candles here on the again, these are the 15-minute charts. Each candle is 15 minutes. So we saw that these two candles had nice little pops here, decent volume too for the first essentially 30 minutes of trading. Well, essentially this would be the first hour because you'd say consider this is going from 9 to 9:45 and this is going to 10. And then you saw a bit of a decline here. It came down to a low of 36.35, and then you saw something start to rumble. The rumbling started to happen here. And then our previous resistance level, if we go back to the daily for 1 second, if you recall here, our previous resistance level of $39.23 just went poof, gonzo, ripped right through it with a 3% candle with 11 mil of volume. And this is where the horses just started running. The stock just went Boom, 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 boom. Massive, massive candles. 3 massive candles. Some people were saying these are 3 white soldiers. These are not 3 white soldiers by definition. They don't line up exactly as the way 3 white soldiers should. There should not be any overlap between candles for this to be 3 white soldiers, but that's not important. We don't care. We're following essentially, really, the name of the game here is volume, and that's what it is. If you guys recall, a lot of the conversations we've had about AMC and GME and all of our momentum plays has always surrounded around volume. One thing that we need to know is we need AMC at least, to be around or above this average vol number here that we have in Webull for you to be able to get these massive kind of pops. So if we look at today's volume, for example, we can see that today's volume was around 223 million versus 168. Hence why we got a pop. Yesterday's volume was 75 million. Good volume, but we got to pop. Remember, this number is the average of the past 3 months. So it can fluctuate. You can get decent volume, but really, the key number that I'm seeing is it has to be around the 100 mil area or higher for you to get good pops in volume. So you can see that today, about 223 mil volume, massive pop. Looks like Nicole sold her call options. It looks like she made a pretty penny. Congratulations. It's due to the new SEC rule. Chris, fill me in on what the new SEC rule is or link me. RyanStocks.com. I have my Twitter there, Chris. If you click on RyanStocks.com, you click on this tile here, it'll take you to my Twitter. My DMs are open. DM me an article or something that you have in regards to that. I have my Twitter open on this page. If you can DM me that article, I will open it up and we'll discuss it on the stream. But I'm not aware of the new SEC rule, but I know that we discussed a set of new SEC rules that were coming down the pike of shorter time frames on short positions, more disclosure, more openness on it. So that's very important. But we can see here that this is awesome. This is what we've wanted to see in AMC for a while now. I don't Twitter yet. Okay, so Chris says he's a boomer. Chris, can you tell me what the name of the rule is? If you tell me what the name of the rule is, I'll give it a quick Goog and then we'll pull it up. So if you guys are familiar with me and what I do is I also have a YouTube channel. I discussed this on my YouTube channel a little bit while ago as well. I said after the earnings come out, I put this video out a while ago, so I'll show you here in a second. And if you'd like to subscribe and support my channel as well, ryanstocks.com, linked below, the first tile, it'd mean a lot. I did a video. I said the AMC huge catalyst on Monday, that was for the Disney. And then I said I'd made a video a little bit ago. If I could find it right now, here we go. This is how to trade AMC to 100K. That was the first one. Then 2 months ago, so you had 2 months to prepare for this. I said, I found the next AMC bull run. I said, hey, I know when the next AMC bull run's coming. I'm confident this is when it's going to happen. And I made a video on it. And in the video, I said, after earnings, AMC tends to consolidate and then run up. That's how it does. And if we go back in time, my good friends, we could take a look here. Earnings, consolidate, run up. One more time. Earnings, consolidate, run up. We can go even back in time. Consolidate, gap up. Look at that. You see that? So it's not a new phenomenon that's happening. It's something that's paternal, or paternal means like your father, but it's like a pattern that you can kind of see. It's cyclical that kind of operates in this scope. By the way, I want you to listen to the Benzinga account and smash the like button, but I also want you to listen to Jeff, a fantastic supporter of the show and the channel, and he's also part of our Discord Patreon team, who's asking you to smash the like button. So do it for me and do it for Jeff, do it for Benzinga. But it's a cyclical pattern that we've been watching for a while. So if you guys subscribed to my YouTube channel and seen that video, discussed it, you would have been like caking right now. 20% is no joke, especially in August. I know I said I wouldn't go over the indices, but I want to show you IWM. This is a parallel to a lot of our small index, our small cap stocks. The Russell 2000 is a parallel to the small cap stocks. As you can see here, it's been suffering. It's not been a good since July. It's not been great for penny stocks. You have to do a lot of research to find penny stocks that are good. That's what I do in the Patreon and the Discord service that I provide, is I provide them with penny stocks that I know are going to do well. But if you look here, these past 3 days have been good, and you can see that in AMC, it reflected that as well. Past 3 days have been good. So it looks like IWM is also a good thing to kind of keep your eye on to see when this thing is going to move. AMC is doing very well. It's doing good in the after hours. It's holding its own. Again, after hours volume, we've discussed this many a times, is not very high in any stock. So if you see some red, if you see some flatness, that's okay. Do I think that this momentum continues into tomorrow? We'll have to see. We did see a bit of a sell-off going into the close, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see the momentum keep going. The retail world is really kind of starving for a runner play. That's kind of what the retail world has been. They've been kind of starving, waiting for a big runner so that they can all pile into. We saw it happen with AMD a few weeks back. We saw it happen with NVIDIA earlier this week when Nancy Pelosi's disclosure came out. We saw people flying in, and we're seeing it now with AMC. Next, I'm going to go to GME real quick, and I will jump back to AMC throughout the whole procedure. And you can see here, very parallel, if we go to the 15-minute, very parallel setup. Except in the beginning, it looks like it wanted to pop, but it hit this Bollinger Band resistance, which is natural. You break above the Bollinger Band, you tend to kind of come down or ride the Bollinger Band up. Came down, hit the midline, consolidated for a bit, and then popped right up to 225, and then cooled off into close. Now, the daily chart with GameStop is one that we haven't really looked at too much on this show, but we discuss it from time to time, but it's not something that's difficult to kind of decipher. We can run a same parallel pattern, very same parallel patterns. GME and AMC both pop around the same exact times. There's nothing, where's the lower point? 22. Okay, so this one's the low point that I want to hit, which I have it already. Cool. Very, very similar pattern and setup with it looks like with GameStop, the resistance was not at the 23% Fibonacci level, but rather around this point right here, these high points of 160, 169, which is hilarious, is where the resistance was. So I'll drop a line there, but who cares? It's gone now, but I'm still going to drop the line there for us to kind of keep an eye on it because I want to also teach you how to read and understand charts a bit here. So this is very important because you need to know technical analysis to be able to enter and exit these positions, which is very, 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 very important, especially if you're day trading or if you're swing trading options or day trading options. It's very important. Across the board of stocks, you should know how to read charts because they're kind of like your guidelines to how your stock is moving, when it's time to cut, when it's time to buy in. So you can kind of see what's going on there. Someone said Elon Musk. I'm not sure. Maybe Elon came in and bought. I don't know. I don't know. That'd be very, very interesting. But as you can see here, massive pop on GameStop, about 27%. You might be saying, why did GameStop pop harder than AMC? Well, if you look at it, GameStop had much less volume, only had 14 million volume versus AMC, which had 200 mil volume, if I remember correctly, 221, if I'm remembering correctly, 221, 223 now, 223 and a half. So the reason GameStop popped harder is there's something called float. Float is kind of the amount of shares that are available to kind of trade. The lower the float that is out there, the harder a stock can move up and down with less volume. You don't need as much volume. Richard, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Return of the living meme. I guess so. I like to call them momentum plays. I want to call them meme plays. I don't want to get stalked on the internet. But the float is lower, so you don't need as much volume. And if you look here, the average volume for the past 3 months is only 5.5 mil. And today we got about a little less than 3 times that. And you had a massive pop of 27%. That's why a lot of people like to go with GameStop versus AMC, is because it has the tradition of popping a little bit harder than AMC does because of its lower float. AMC has a much higher float, around 500 million, if I remember off the top of my head. Now 511 million. So it needs a little bit more volume and juice to kind of pop. Now, we've touched on both of these momentum stocks. There are 2 more major momentum stocks I know a lot of you like to talk about. Blackberry, Nokia are 2 other ones, so I want to jump into those as well. But one thing I do want to touch on before we keep going, I want to sneak in SPY really quickly because a lot of people have been talking about SPY in regards to this, and a lot of people got scared when they saw the momentum plays pop. They said, hey, SPY is going to tank, and it really didn't. It was very flat for the day. It even hit a new 52-week high. It's gotten to the point where we don't even acknowledge 52-week highs on SPY anymore because they've become almost a 1 to twice a week event, which is a little bit scary. With everything moving on, I'm happy that SPY is moving and chugging, but to me, it's a little bit terrifying to see SPY hit these all-time highs every single week. But I like consolidation. I like steadfast pace. I don't like crazy jumps, but I can see SPY tomorrow retesting 148, 50 again. I'd sold off into the close, just like you saw with GameStop and AMC. A lot of stocks are now you'll usually have 2 things that could happen: is a flush in the open or a flush into the close. So, and some of them do both. So We can see here, SPY did its thing, hit its all-time high. I wouldn't be surprised if we retest it. I'm still standing by my prediction that I believe we will reach 450 by the end of this month. So that's kind of the reason I'm saying that, and I'll show you why I'm saying that. I'm not just pulling that out of a hat. I'm running a Fibonacci extension, and I can see 450s within sight. So it's not something that's wildly atrociously high. This is the same regression. This is the same kind of extension tool. By the way, it's right here in Webull that I use to kind of go over and kind of make my predictions. So I'm seeing a lot of folks are asking about AQST. I will definitely go over that for sure. So let me do Nokia first, and then I'll go to AQST, and then I'll do Blackberry, just because there's a lot of people asking for Nokia. So they asked first, so let's bring it in. The Nokia is the gap up stock. It's a stock that very high float, 5.63 billion, old float, old stock, old company. Most of your first cell phones, if you're old enough, were probably Nokia's. And this company has kind of adapted itself to be in the 5G-esque world and somehow got looped in with the momentum plays. How, I don't know. I don't understand it. But I wanted to kind of bring it to your attention. By the way, if anyone's interested in learning how to do this kind of technical analysis, I teach it within a course that I provide to my Patreon members. So if you'd like to sign up, go to ryanstocks.com, linked in the description. Click this button right here. There's only 3 slots available for this month. If you'd like to sign up, you can do that, and you'll get access to weekly watch list, options watch list, and the course, plus a massively supportive and helpful Discord that we have in there, so you can learn how to do this stuff on your own. And we got a lot of folks that are playing AMC call options in there today that were doing very, very well. Let's take a look at Nokia. Nokia is one that's very interesting. It's not one that ever slowed down. So if we look at most of our other momentum plays, they kind of tended to slow down. Nokia didn't. Nokia had gap ups on earnings. If you can see here, they had very good earnings from what I'm seeing here. I'd never looked at their actual earnings. We can look at them now on the Benzinga platform. By the way, the Benzinga platform is fantastic. If you want news, you could sign up for free and just test drive it. Go to Ryan Stocks, hit this tile. It comes with a 2-week free trial. Just sign up for free and try it. If you like it, use it. If you don't like it, cancel it. And if you like it and you want to keep it, use promo code RyanR and get 30% off for life. So if you wanted to do that and try it out, link is right there. Sign up, try it out. It's completely free for 2 weeks. Do that. My buddy Rumor is here. I haven't seen Rumor in one of these videos in a while. Rumor, what's going on? Rumor's also on our Patreon Discord. Listen to Rumor and hit the like button. So let's take a look at Nokia's earnings that came out. They had to be good. That's why we got a massive gap up. Where are you? Where are you? It'd be helpful if I looked at the date, right? 7/29. Okay, so I went a little too far. July 29th. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Q2 earnings. July 29th. Okay, why isn't that showing to me? Okay, EPS in line, beats on revenue. Okay, so they did a beat on revenue, which is good, which is interesting. For some reason, I'm not seeing the exact earnings here, but we can take a look at. We have the actual calendar, which shows us everything. So they beat surprise estimate by 120%. And their revenue beat as well. Their revenue beat by 3.9%. Their EPS beat estimates by 120%, hence why they had a massive jump. So it makes sense. Makes sense a lot. Smash the like button. It's also, yeah, Quinton's also one of our members in the Patreon. So if you'd like to sign up, do that. Quinton's been actually watching the videos, and his charting skills have getting much, much better. I was talking to him earlier today. He's getting much, much better with his charting skills. So it helps. So Nokia, not your kind of like a traditional, how do you want to say it? Not your traditional momentum play, because if you look at Nokia in a nutshell, it didn't have what AMC had, where it was these massive falls, right? It didn't have the depression and then the massive uprising. Nokia essentially just said, okay, we're just going to keep doing what we do, because Nokia, I guess, the way that there's a lot more investors into it that are big into it. Martin, no, I did not jump back into AMC. I want to be able to do unbiased videos. So at that time, I said that I will not be buying AMC or GameStop. I mean, I'm losing money on it, but I got to do unbiased videos. So I have to be able to do it unbiased and tell you the truth. So whether it's good news or bad news, I want to be able to deliver to you in an unbiased way. And if I own shares, there will be a psychological bias set for me mentally, and I'll I don't want to do that. Even I know I could definitely control myself and be like, don't tell them to sell or don't tell them to buy, depending on what side I'm on. But I want to be 100% unbiased. So the best bet here for me to kind of understand this would be kind of running Fibonacci levels. And I can tell you probably there's one here, and there's one here. And that's kind of just like looking at it from here. If we take it from our low point, run it to our high point, and would you look at that right across the board as expected, Fibonacci levels. These candles are so tiny that it just does its thing for me. There we go. And we can lock it in. So this is one that's like, if you want to learn Fibonacci levels, they're like, this is like your go-to chart. It's got the natural fibs built into it. It's doing its thing. It's chugging along. It clearly has the volume. As you can see here, very small wicks in the volume candles. You can see they're slowly picking up. You can see here we had 12 mil and then 17 and then 7 parallel 17 here, a little bit less than yesterday, but still 17 mil volume. The average vol here is 31 million. So you might be saying like, what's going on? But you have to remember that this is just kind of, this works very differently than any other momentum play that you think that moves. MD says, why do you think everything moved today? I have no idea. I don't know why or what or how. I've been looking all day. I don't know. Unbiased is the mother of all short squeezes at the beginning. I don't think so. I think that short squeezes happen in spurts. I don't think that they happen in one shot. You need massive coordination to have a mother of all short squeezes. But I do believe you have short spurts of short squeezes that happen. And I'll show you on the AMC chart exactly what I'm talking about. And I showed this on a stream a long time ago when I had access to one of these paid platforms that did short reports. It showed me like parallel to when the short positions dropped and when AMC went up, they were like very lined up. So that's, if that helps. So I think if the volume is there, we could definitely see Nokia go to retest its resistance again. So it looks like it had resistance at 609 today. It looks like in the past it's had resistance here at 615. And as you can see, it kind of lines up with the close of this candle right here at 615, 610. So it opened at 616. So you can see that it can I can see it coming here for sure. If I was to run it, let me see. I'm going to run an extension within this retracement. Okay. So, yeah, 614 would be kind of your next natural resistance level, which kind of lines up perfectly with this candle right here that we were discussing a few minutes ago. And then 624, you have to remember, this is a higher float stock. So you need a lot of volume. You need like 30, 40, 50 million volume to kind of have massive jumps on this. So like, take a look at this. 33 mil volume moved to 3.75%. So Nokia is one that will move slower, but it also has the kind of the built-in situation of where you don't have to be worried about this thing. If the momentum dies out, this stock will die out with it. If we look here, this is a massive candle. This had 1 billion volume in order to move at 38%. So keep that in mind. This will move a lot slower. So in order of how fast to slow it moves is we see that GameStop moves the fastest, followed by AMC and then Nokia. AQST, let me go over that one next. AQST, by the way, do me a solid. There's about 200 of you here watching. Hit the like button. Let your friends know. And we can discuss. So I don't know how AQST is a momentum play. This is a therapeutics play. I haven't seen this mentioned as a momentum play. I don't know anyone playing it as a momentum play, and it's not paralleling the same movements of a momentum play. Looks like they had earnings, and it looks like it chugged up after earnings. Whether they were good or bad, I have no idea. I stay away from bios and therapeutics and pharmaceuticals myself. Looks like it's return on capital employed. They have a web conference. So it looks like they report a loss. Their EPS beat and their sales beat, so they had good earnings. Raises top consensus. Okay, so it looks like they raised guidance. Okay, so I don't see much momentum here. It's a lower float stock, so with volume, it could definitely move, but this isn't my cup of tea because I stay away from bios and pharmaceuticals. I just don't. They're not my cup of tea. They moved too drastically. We saw what happened with SESN on Friday the 13th. This massive, disgusting candle came down a low of 80 something percent at a certain point and just jumped back up. So it did that. Thank you, Les. Appreciate you, buddy. So this is why I personally avoid bios and pharmaceuticals. So let's go to Blackberry, another one of them that parallels Nokia. Very similar, but this one does parallel your momentum plays a little bit more, where it dies off and then it picks up. If you look at this chart and we put, I don't know, we put another chart next to it. Oh, I don't know, maybe AMC. What do these two look like to you? Very parallel charts. Look at that. Get the little pop right here and then massive pop towards the end. So very, very parallel charts, which is interesting. This is what I would, again, consider more of a momentum play. I don't even consider Nokia a momentum play, to be 100% honest with you. It says Charles Payne's going to pump AQSD to $20 himself. That's illegal. So if Charles would like to dance with the SEC, Charles is someone cool. I don't know him. I've seen him on Fox a few times. He's funny. I saw him get into a quarrel with Portnoy, calling him a paper hander. He's a journalist, so I think he should be providing unbiased information rather than biased. We don't know if he owns the stock, if he's friends with someone who owns the stock. So I personally wouldn't touch it. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't talk about it and pump it because that's illegal. Pumping is illegal. So we'll have to see. Cody, we're going to discuss the continuation of AMC GME in just 1 minute. As soon as I finish Blackberry, we're going to move back to those stocks, all four of them, and discuss where we think they could go tomorrow. But in order to do that, we need you guys to hit the like button. Right, so we need you guys to smash that like button, demolish it, and destroy it. We can't have a green day on AMC tomorrow if the like button doesn't hit 100 likes. That's just something like every time we've done this show, we got people disliking the video. So shout out to you too. If you want to dislike the video, you could do that as well. But I don't know why you would do that. But I'm going to consider those are the hedgies. Hedgies hit dislikes. AMC apes, GameStop, diamond handers hit the like button. So hit the like button. Let's get this to 100 likes. It's not that wild. There's 215 of you. It literally costs you nothing to hit the like button. Definitely make sure to do that. Oh, cool. I'm getting some links. Notice the filing proposed rule to change the amend the requirements for covered agency transaction under FINRA margin requirements. Okay. So it looks like something was released, but again, we'll talk about. I'll look into that in a second. Just give me some time, and I will definitely jump into that for sure. Okay. All right. Snook, my pleasure. I love doing this. I love working with you guys. All I ask in return is you guys hit the like button, and if you guys want to support me even more than that, it'd mean a lot if you guys also went and subscribe to my YouTube channel, ryanstocks.com. Links in the description. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you'd like to join the group, you can see we got Villa over here. Shout out to Villa. It's a Patreon member. Welcome to the stream. You can sign up for the Patreon. We got 3 slots, I believe, open for the rest of the month. You can learn how to do this kind of technical analysis. You're going to need it throughout the rest of your trading career. Sign up, learn it, be part of a great trading team, and have some fun. Do your thing. Learn with us. And shout out to you, Villa. Thank you so much for coming and watching and supporting Double Time. So funny that people won't hit that thumb. Yeah, I don't get it. Some people just psychologically don't like to hit the like button, but that's on them. Let them do their thing. Doesn't bother me. Nokia. We just did Nokia, Kev. Just rewind a wee bit forward, and we did Nokia. Daniel, thank you so much. Martin, thank you. You're awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Snook, thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone. All right, let's do this. I promised Blackberry. We got to do it. David, I see you. Thank you. Who is seeing us drop in SPY for September? I'll talk about that. If we get through Blackberry fast enough in the Forex charts, I'll go talk about what I think will happen in September into October. I haven't talked about this thesis publicly. I've only talked about it to Patreon members a little bit here and there in the chats, but I got my prediction for when the next correction's coming, and I want to give it out today. So stay tuned. We're going to be talking about when you could be getting some cheap tendies. All right, so I'm eyeballing it a bit here. As you can see, I missed it by 2 candles. Shame on me, but that's okay. So if we look here, we got to align this one a little bit better. There we go. So Blackberry, very parallel flow to AMC, 550 million. So if we kind of reorder it one more time for fastest to slowest, it would go good old GameStop, then AMC, then Blackberry, then Nokia. So all 4 of these in order of float as to how much GameStop doesn't need as much volume, and Nokia needs the most amount of volume to move it. right? Matt, I see your CSCO comment. I will definitely try my best to cover that as well. I know a few other folks were talking about CSCO. I will try my best to cover that. I promise. We have enough time. We got 30 minutes. We skipped the SPY talk early on, so we got enough time to do this. And this is our last one, and then we're going to review all four, and then we're going to do some fun stuff as well. So, look, big pop today, about 10%. This is great. To me, though, Blackberry is a stock that trades, in my opinion, it's fair for it to trade in this area here between 10 and 12 or even higher. I wouldn't be surprised. I do think that by in the next 2 to 3 years, this could be a $15, $17 stock if they can move in the right direction with 5G chips and all this other cool stuff that BlackBerry wants to do. Not a smartphone, but I could definitely see them doing their things. For sure. My thoughts on drunk trading: don't do it. Don't drunk trade, don't high trade, don't trade under the influence. You're going to lose a lot of money, and then you're going to be like, man, you're going to need to spend a lot more money on alcohol again just to feel better after you lost all that money because you were drinking alcohol. So it's going to be kind of a recursive, infinite loop of losses. So BlackBerry, nice movement here. Nothing wild, nothing beyond the ordinary in my opinion. Again, very similar to Nokia. If you look here, the Bollinger Bands are very tight. I'm going to delete the Fibonacci levels. They don't do as much good in this setup. But if you look here, Fibonacci level, the Bollinger Bands mouths are very close to each other. And if you look here, not much volatility. The farther away the bands are, the more volatility there is. As you can see here, massive volatility. Not much volatility. Not much volatility at all. And we can look at the 15-minute chart and see where this picked up. They all picked up around the same time. Around 1 to 2 p.m. they all picked up and kind of cooled off into the end. Now, talking about going into tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if we had movement tomorrow on all four of these. It's just a matter of you have to watch it in pre-market. You have to watch it at market open, see if people are selling and taking profits, if there's an external factor happening. Is some news story going to happen and break out overseas and something's going to go wrong? So definitely keep an eye on it. But it's a nice movement. I mean, you hit resistance. You hit natural resistance around this area. If we look here, it was parallel to the resistance that we had here in the past. So I'm just going to draw the line, make it a little easier than eyeballing it. I don't know. Recently, I've just been trying to like eyeball stuff, and it's not been good for me. But if you look here, you've had this resistance in the past, so it's not a big deal. And this used to be kind of support for a while too. So now it's resistance. If you can break that and establish this $11 area of support, that could be good. You could see it chugging up and making its way up as well. I'd like to see some moving averages on this though. So you've established the 200 moving average as support and your 50 as resistance, which is interesting. But to me, I always like to be above the 50 resistance. And you do have your 9 EMA as support again today, which is funny. Your 9 EMA and your 200 MA are lined up. Means nothing, but it's just funny to see. I haven't seen a setup like that in a long time. But yeah, by the way, this red line is the 20 MA on the Bollinger Band. Some people switch it to 21. I like to keep it at 20. I'm fine with the defaults. Victor says, why do you think PFE had such a low again yesterday after 3 positive catalysts? Sell the news, man. Sell the news. They had to sell the news. The stock ran up. Let me show you. I played this one on the Patreon. We made a lot of money on both on calls and on puts. Today our puts ran 50%. 55% if I recall correctly. Look, you got a massive run up. You went from like $38 all the way to $50. Like even if you want to count it from here, right? What is a low of 40 to 50? A $10 move in a stock with a 5.6 billion float. Sold the news. It sold the news. Now it's cooling off. You do have support here. Take a look at this. Let's draw a line because I don't want to make myself look foolish again. 26, 24. Yeah, we could draw the line right here. Look at that. Now, it's not a perfectly aligned line, but look, you do have established support here off of all these candles around the 48, 26 area, 48, 25, something like that. And you've got support there. So could it bounce tomorrow? Most definitely. Could it break that support line tomorrow? Most definitely. But it's not a bad move. First of all, you're only down $1.55 a share. So if you're playing shares, that's not bad. But overall, it's not bad at all. I believe you closed above the 9 EMA. No, you closed under it. That's okay. Not a big deal. Your moving averages are still long and strong. We're on the daily chart. People obviously can help us. Volume declined a little bit this week, but that's okay. Not a big deal. I want OBV for a second. It has to be pointing downwards. Yep. Yeah. OBV is pointing downwards, volume is declining, but that's okay. Look, it needs to consolidate, it needs to trade sideways or come down. I wouldn't be surprised if we came down and we saw the 46 area. I'm not saying that I don't own any more puts anymore. I'm out of the thing. I sold my puts. I'm just being completely unbiased. You have two scenarios that can happen. One, you consolidate sideways. Actually, three scenarios. One, you consolidate sideways. Two, you come down and you test this 20 MA around 46. Now, you do have support here also around the $47.50 area, so that could also be a second test or a third scenario. And then your fourth scenario is you bounce back up. So you've got four scenarios. Test this line and consolidate sideways. Test 47.50 and consolidate sideways. Test 46.70, consolidate sideways or down, whatever. Or you just bounce off here. What's going on, Mitch? Yeah, they got to smash the like button to get us to 100 likes. I don't know what they're doing. These guys are being stingy today with the like button. They're so generous usually with the like button, but today they're being stingy. We're only 7 away, guys. Hedgies hit the dislike, AMC apes and real stock traders, retail rogues, whatever you guys want to call yourselves. NSA. What? Kevin, I don't trust that stock already. But I'll take a look at it. I'll definitely take a look at it. Let's take a look at NSA. Why not? If someone's going to fly through my window right now, NSA, get down. So NSA, it looks like it's going down. National Storage, terrible ticker name, by the way. It's a REIT, okay. Stock had a massive move. Been kind of using the 20 MA support, broke the 20 MA support in a downward move. Any bad news? Morgan Stanley maintains equal weight, price target at 52, so it's not bad. They moved it up a little bit too, these guys, from 49 to 52. Not bad at all. I don't see any issues. 90 MA, you broke that. You still have your 50 MA as support, and you still have your Bollinger Band as support. Nothing too wild. Whoops. Nothing too wild. I wouldn't be too worried about it. But again, this is a very interesting setup. But look, it's been healthy. It's just been chugging. Now let it consolidate a little bit. Nothing bad in my opinion. I promised someone CSCO. CSCO. Cisco Systems. Wow, look at that. Cisco Systems was a stock that we talked about, I think, 2 streams ago. They had earnings, and they've just been ripping. They've been doing great. Now, you are entering into overbought territory, but again, you have to remember one thing about RSIs. You can be into overbought territory for weeks, months, years. You can stay in overbought for the rest of your life. So don't look to buy puts up here just because you've broken the Bollinger Band and it's above that or whatever. Watch for signs of weakness and then buy your puts or short or whatever you want to do. But it's chugging. It had very good earnings, and now it's doing its thing. Thoughts of NVIDIA? Is it close to correction? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think NVIDIA and AMD have joined the ranks of the Wall Street bets stocks, and they're just running. And today was not bad at all. Flat day. Who cares? Look at this. I want you guys to look at this and kind of embrace the beauty of what happened here. The stock announced the stock split around this time, right around earnings, ran up from 140 to a high of 208, and then on split dipped into the split and then ran back up to 220. This was a 5-1 split, I believe. A 4-1 split. So you have to do 4 times that. So almost like, what is that? 220 times 4, about $880 stock. So if you remember this stock, it usually traded in the 600s. Now it's sort of in the 880s technically. Massively wild. NVIDIA is doing its thing. Will it eventually need to cool off? I think so. I think it eventually needs to cool off. I personally wouldn't like to buy this stock as commons over $200 a share. That's just me, but I know that the Nancy Pelosi news, Wall Street Bets loves it, so it's had its massive run up. We've got 20 more minutes. Let me talk to you guys about SPY. Let me tell you what I think is going to happen. Let's do it. Hold on. Something big happened today in the Bitcoin mining world, and we got to talk about it. Mitch, I see you with PubM. You know what? Let me do PubM. Mitch, what are you doing throwing in the stock selections? We know that you're the master of technical analysis. Look at this. Clean bounce off the bottom of the Bollinger Band. You're curling on your MACD. RSI is going up. You're probably going to hit some resistance around here, which you did, as your previous resistance levels where it kind of hit around 28.50. Your after hours is healthy. Enough volume coming in. Let me see. Decent volume. I like it. We got a lot of volume, actually. No, not really. This is 1.39. So the volume is decent, not fantastic, but I'd like to see more vol. I want to see more vol around this area, like around the 1 mil area. A little bit low, but I could see this one with enough volume popping because the float is very low. 19 mil float, very low. I could see this. You'll hit probably some resistance around 29.72, but this is one that in the past has just ripped through the midline. It hit some resistance here, but I don't know what happened here. It could have been news or whatever, but it rips through the midline. So I wouldn't be surprised with enough volume and good momentum. I could see this going to the 30s. No problem, but give it some time. But let's talk about it. So Marathon Digital Holdings, you guys know that's a stock that I love. Full disclosure, massive position in it. It's one of my largest, if not largest, holdings now with the massive move. Mariko Komodo, CEO, today, it was disclosed today that of his restricted shares, he sold 50% of his restricted shares and took the other 50% and bought shares. So 1.32 million shares he bought. Massive buy. Now he owns about 5.5 million shares of Mara. Huge. Parallel to that, our good friends at Riot decided it's time for another offering. So they dropped an S3 ASR. So it's S3. It's like automatic registration. Oh man, I thought I linked that. Let me pull it up. SEC Riot. So Riot is now trading under Mara's stock price. If you look here, it's the 37.63 that closed, and then Mara was 37.98. If you folks remember, there used to be a massive $2 to $3 gap, even sometimes $5 gap between Riot and Mara. That gap has now been closed. Riot has filed for an S3 automatic registration filing, which means it's an S3 that goes into effect automatically for 11.8 million shares at a maximum price of 31.80. So that means they believe that their stock should be trading at, and they should be selling at a maximum of 31.80. The stock price is 37.63. This stock should tank, in my opinion. Again, now I have nothing against Riot, nothing there, but I'm just saying if they're doing an offering, if they're doing an offering at a discount, that's usually not a good thing. In the after hours, it hasn't really dropped in price. You have to remember that a lot of institutions have been buying into Mara and Riot. That creates a good floor for them. Mara's is around 30. Riot establishes their floor around 31 as well. 30, 31, around the same floor. It's insane how these stocks have paralleled. It's insane. But they registered this. Now I want to see if they have a use of funds okay, so that's an ugly setup. Let me go to SEC Edgar. SEC Edgar is always this website that I used to use used to be much cleaner. SEC Edgar is SEC Edgar is getting much cleaner for me. All right. Am I still a fan of Argo? I haven't looked at Argo in a long time. I'll be honest with you. It hasn't piqued my interest. Hut 8 has piqued my interest much more. I don't have a position in Hut 8, but that's piqued my interest a lot more, to be 100% honest with you. I'm going to talk about SPY, Shivan Smith. I promise you I will talk about SPY. Cody, I see Baba in there, and Uber, I see that as well, and India, I see that as well. I'm going to touch all of those, I promise. I just want to look at this one section of this SEC filing. Use of proceeds, page 11. Okay, so let's go to page 11. Use of proceeds. The register with the resale stock pursuant to the registration rights granted to the selling stock owner of the shareholder agreement. All shares may be offered by the selling shareholder pursuant to the prospectus will be sold by the selling stock shareholder of its own account. PL costs and fees. They're not telling us. They're not telling us. Okay. That's a lot. It looks like that this is going to their Northern Data. It looks like really that this is to pay for that Northern Data AG deal that they had. If you guys remember, I spoke about this a long time ago. Northern AG is Northern Data. That's where they're going to kind of name of selling stock. So it looks like this stockholder has this amount of these shares that they have, and now they're getting rid of it. May decide not to sell, otherwise dispose of any of the shares of pursuant. Okay, this is a little more complex than I thought. So this isn't Northern Data. This is Northern Data AG. This is different. The manufacturer of hardware mobile tech. So it looks like they're getting rid of it. That's very interesting. All right. That's enough of those two. So interesting that the stock hasn't taken a hit in after hours, but it is what it is. Let me take a look at more after hours. Very parallel. They're moving very parallel to each other now. This is probably due to Bitcoin losing the 50K area. We hit 50K. We danced there for a little bit. This stock always comes up when I do BTC. This is a newer OTC stock. It just likes to kind of pop its head in. But yeah, I think Bitcoin will regain the 50K area going into the weekend. Ryan, you're trying to see what Riot was doing with the money. Yeah, I was trying to see what Riot was going to do with the money, but it looks like it's not Riot's money. It looks like it's Northern Data AG that has this many shares, and they're doing it. So it's interesting to see what's going on there. Very similar to, if you remember, ChargePoint. There was a big seller in ChargePoint. They had shares and they wanted to get rid of it, and they did it through an offering. But the money didn't go to ChargePoint. It went to the person selling the shares, and I think the same thing happens here for Northern Data. The money's not going to go to Riot; it's going to go to Northern Data, but Riot catches a dilution, so it's negative. So let's do a quick roll call on the momentum stocks. AMC doing well in the after hours. Could this continue to tomorrow? I wouldn't be surprised if AMC continues into tomorrow. Definitely watch it, move at your own discretion, and do whatever's best for you. GME looks like it's cooling off a bit in the after hours. Definitely watch it going into tomorrow. This one moves the fastest out of all of them. Keep an eye on it there. Why would Riot file then? Because technically I believe they're restricted shares, or technically they're still under the custodianship of Riot, but they belong to Northern AG. I don't know about the specifics of that, to be 100% transparent with you, but it's very similar to that. AMC we just touched on. If you scrub to the beginning of the video, we spent like 20 minutes on AMC. Costs, we could talk about costs. Another momentum play, but not too much movement. Very low float. This one would fly if it got any volume, as we've seen in the past. 43. I think this went to $100 at a certain point too. Yep, 127. So this is one that pumpers love too. Pumpers always love to push this stock, like in 2020. Massive move. Rule, what's up, buddy? Rule's got a fantastic show as well on the network. You guys have to subscribe to this channel. Rule's got a great show on this channel. You have to definitely check it out. EXPR, I got you, buddy. EXPR. Let's go, buddy. Express, look at that. Express has maintained support on the 20 moving average here on this red line of the Bollinger Band. Clean bounces. Now, I would say that you did hit a bit of resistance at 771. I don't know much about this company, but it looks like previously you've had resistance here around the $760 area and 867. So you could possibly come down and retest the 20 MA and then make another higher bounce, because that's what it's been doing. It's going up, bounce, and keep going. But this is an interesting setup. I need my moving averages. They're not going to help me there. But again, you have support on your 50 MA. You've got 200 MA support. OBV is very healthy. And you've got your 90 MA as support. I can see this continue to keep going tomorrow. It needs volume, though. This is one that needs volume, but it's on par with its natural volume that it usually gets. But if you get a decent amount of volume going into it, where people don't take profits, kind of hold on to it, I could see this going to the $750 area, or higher. It's got a lower float, so Express could do very well. I think this could be fun. What do these guys do? Retail accessories. Oh, is this This is the clothing company, right? They're like H&M, and yep. Yeah, Express, the clothing store. Cool. No, very cool. I guess, yeah, why not? We saw Macy's smash earnings. We saw Target smash earnings. We saw Walmart smash earnings. Express clearly smashed earnings. I think they have earnings. They should have earnings coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys smashed earnings as well. I got a Zoom meeting in 10 minutes, so I got to wind this down soon. And there's another fantastic show that comes on after this. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And this is also one that retail traders love to kind of talk about and squeeze. Very cool. My pleasure, man. You got a fantastic show. Got to talk about it. These folks got to definitely check it out. INDI. Do I talk about Canadian companies if I know them? Sure, but if I don't know them, I can't talk about them because I don't know them. But if there's a chart, we'll try our best. INDI semiconductors have been doing well. Look at Nvidia, AMD running up, and it looks like parallel to that, this guy's doing very well as well. AMD suffered today. AMD vol was low. It looks like a lot of the momentum from AMD flowed into AMC and all those other guys. But we'll see it there. We'll see what happens there. I'm getting a little tired now. But look at this. Look at that. You got your 200 MA resistance. So if you can cross the 200 MA, you can make a move. Low volume there. But I think that what happens here with Indy, it's really competing against two Goliaths, NVIDIA and AMD. And those guys have so much love for them that everyone loves those stocks that people just go with them instead. So that's the other alternative you have is play AMD instead of Indy. But I get it. Indy's more attractive. It's a cheaper stock. You can buy more of it. But I don't know. I personally think that AMD is setting up for another move upward, even though it doesn't prove to be that way today. But I think that AMD has more room upward. Riot was not an offering. It was just a completion of the acquisition of the White House U.S. Inc., in which they agreed to purchase shares back in May 26, 2021. Okay, I see what's going on. But they're still – right, they're registering shares, but they still have to issue those shares to be able to give it to them. They're not taking it from their they're not taking it from the public float. I think they still have to issue those shares, or else they would just file a Form 4, like, hey, here's your shares. Because you can't. They're not like it's not like their CEO is going here. Take my shares. So we'll have to see it. I keep seeing this, JA. I've seen a lot of YouTubers put out a lot of BS FUD around this. Yes, traditionally the weakest month of the year, but let's run a monthly chart on SPY. Last September was red, right? Clearly. 2 Septembers ago was green. 27 to 2018, September was green. 2019 was green as well. So 2019, 2018 were green. 2020 was red. That was going into the election. Makes sense. 2017, September was green. So I'm seeing this. 2016, September was red, flat month. And I don't know what this box is or why I had this box here, but that's interesting. So do I think that we'll have some red? I think so. I think we'll have red, but I don't think it's going to be the red that everyone expects, because this is how I've usually seen it. If everyone expects a market crash or a drop, the stock doesn't do that, and it comes later. It comes much later. I think that we'll get our market correction, our 10% market correction towards Halloween. That's the way I've been kind of mapping it based off of traditionally when the yield rates, the bond rates jump up and down. One night I just spent a bunch of time just paralleling market corrections and bond rates and stuff like that. Now there's more factors that go into it. So I think it'll happen in October, not September. I think we'll have a red October, but not a red September. Plus, this is the thing. Most people aren't trading SPY. Yes, SPY affects your overall market, but you can still find individual stocks that could do very well for you. And that's what we do like in the Patreon. Like IWM has been garbage, right? IWM is the penny stock parallel, right? People look to this from they are, we're gonna have a good penny stock day, we're gonna have a bad one. But during this whole time, like we've been finding stocks do very well for swinging penny stocks in the Patreon. If you'd like to sign up for that, by the way, ryanstocks.com, tile number 2, it comes with a course that also teaches you how to kind of trade and do technical analysis. So if you want to do that, that's definitely available to you. There's only 3 slots left. When those are done, it gets closed until someone leaves or upgrades. Then you get access to it, but there's only 3 slots left. I want to double check. I think there's only 3 left. Yeah, only 3 slots left. So grab them. Why the negative on month of September? I think it's for the algorithm, Richard. I think like one big YouTuber talks about it, and the other one pick it up and do parallel videos to it as well. I think it'll be October. I think October will be red. I think September will be fine. Towards the end of September, you could get red because the whole unemployment situation starts to wind down. So I could see then getting some red. But the last time AMC and GME went crazy, there was a huge amount of market correction, if I remember right. Yes, that was the one in January. That was the very first one. But you have to remember, since then, this is our 4th AMC run, essentially, and our 4th GameStop run. you look here, this was the first one where AMC went $20. Then we had a second one, AMC went to 14. Then we had a third one, AMC went to 72. And we kind of have a little one here. This is not a big deal. This is cool. It only went up $7. It's not massive, but it's there. Can it keep going? Sure. But to me, this is a parallel to what happened here or what happened here. There are little short squeezes that happen that push out short sellers or short sellers that cover their positions. They cause massive moves, and then you see cool-offs. So definitely keep that in mind. Could it keep going? Yes. We have to watch it tomorrow. See how it plays out tomorrow. Resumes in October, but it takes a few weeks to show. What does? End of the federal fiscal year, Fed money spending stalls. Yes, that's true. With Delta and school closing, numbers of records are high. Yep. Penny stocks, Ryan. What do you think about AGXR? I don't know what that is, but I'll look at it really quickly and then I'll close down the show because I have to run. GRX, agile. Oh, I don't like penny stocks that are around $1, man. They're very, very shaky. Looks like something happened here, which is tanked. Quick, 3 bad earnings, probably. Cool. McAfee scanned my computer for me. Didn't need to do that. Looks like Agile Therapeutics partners with telehealth service Pandia Health to increase women's access to Trilia transdermal system. Cool. So they're a good catalyst. It's picking up. You'll probably hit resistance around this 20 MA, around $1.91. If you can cross that, you can fly. If you can't cross that, you'll probably come back down and retest the 94 cent area. 93 cent is where I would set my stop loss, like 92.9, right? I'd set my stop loss there. I did sleep. I slept a lot yesterday, actually, but I will get more sleep, I promise. Listen to Mitch, smash the like button. Listen to Russ, and let's see if we can get it to 200 likes. I don't know if that's possible. But with that said, I'm going to wind down the show. One final look at AMC. We did good today, folks. Massive day. Congratulations to everyone who was in there, everyone who made money on AMC, GME, Nokia, Blackberry, any other stocks out there. Congratulations. What do I think of Lucid? I love it long term. Short term, I'm watching it. That's what I think about Lucid. Love it long term. Cardano, all right, fine. ADA USD. You guys know I'm a sucker for Cardano. We should have gotten to $3. We got some paper handers in there, but that's okay. Let it consolidate. Let it take its time. I added and alerted the patron members to add Cardano down here, or like that I'm adding Cardano down here. So I'm very happy with what Cardano did and is doing. So I'm fine with it. I'm looking for it to come down to like the 250 level. If I can get it at 250, I'd buy more. If I can get it at 190, I'd load the boat. Now, if I can ever get it down to $1 again, that means like Bitcoin took another dive. So I'd rather at that point buy Bitcoin again. But Cardano is interesting. I'd buy it at $1, 190, and then 250. Those are the 3 levels that I'm kind of watching a Cardano to watch and buy. So, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching the stream. I appreciate you. Do me a solid. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to be notified of new videos as they come out. Also, if you want to support me even more, it would mean the world to me. I put out weekly videos on my channel as well. Go to YouTube. Go to ryanstocks.com. Hit the first out. Tomorrow, we have a thank you so much for the super chat, Hertz Scramble. The Benzinga team will have a coffee on you. Thank you so much, Hertz. You're the man. You're man or woman. I have no idea where you are. You're the best car out there. If you want to support me, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have a very interesting video coming out, I believe, on Thursday. But we're streaming tomorrow. We're streaming our podcast with myself, Song, Larry, and Fake. All 4 of us are streaming our podcast tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST on the YouTube channel. We're going to talk about a lot of interesting things. And then I'll have a new video coming out probably early-ish tomorrow on savings accounts. That a new savings account with a 7.4 APR interest rate. So that one will be very interesting. I've been using it. I've been testing it. It's been very, very good. And we're going to have a lot of fun with it. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would mean the world to me. Trying to get a big YouTube channel like Benzinga does, but it's taking time. But if you guys would subscribe, that'd mean the world. Patreon's there if you'd like to learn, join our fantastic trading team and trading community. Do it. We've got really good results. We had a Roblox call today that ran 57%. I'll show you. Roblox RBLX. Our options call. I put this out in the update last night. September 3rd, $85 call. I There you go. Oh, look, ran 75%. Excuse me, ran 75% today. So swing position too. So I think it'll continue going into tomorrow. Has way more momentum upward. So you can see that we do good. We try our best. We got a fantastic team that works very hard to get you calls. If you'd like to sign up for Benzinga Pro, 100% free for 2 weeks. Sign up, get your 2 free weeks. I get a little bit of a kickback. It's 100% free. Do it. Let me get my kickback, and then follow me on Twitter. That's the best way to interact with me. And Instagram, I'm trying to do more fun stuff on Instagram as well, if you'd like to do that. And the platform that I was using, a lot of folks like to ask or DM me afterwards. It's Webull. If you click this link, you get 2 free stocks by signing up and depositing $5 now, not 100, $5. And you got Robinhood, free Bitcoin, and stock merch if you like it. But the best thing you could do, the YouTube, the Patreon, the Benzinga, and the Twitter. These 4 are your go-tos if you want to support me. That would mean the world. Just 1 click, try to provide you as much value as possible. So, folks, I appreciate you. You guys are amazing. Hertz, thank you again for the coffee. You're fantastic. Michael Burry's going to end up buying the Bang Energy with it. Michael Murray. Who's Michael Murray? I'm not sure who Michael Murray is. Apologies. It's the 25th in Japan when ADA becomes available. Oh, cool. ADA is going to Japan. That's fantastic. That'll be probably a good catalyst for it to go to $3. But yes, I'm out of time. So thank you all again. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for watching, and hit the like button on your way out. It's literally just and then we're out of here. Peace.